Okay, this is one of my really good games. I'm pretty proud of the game. It was a total domination of my opponent once we had some exchanges in the center, and it just really led to a very pretty checkmate. So let's get right to it. I open with the English. My opponent responds with a direct attack in the center. We exchange off pieces. This is all established theory. Um, my responding of f2 to f4 is a little bit unusual, unorthodox. The idea is I'm trying to have an extra pawn to work with in the center. I could have trapped or attempted to trap black's bishop, but I felt regular development was a better course of action, and black quickly created an escape square for that. So castles, check, move out of the way. Here, the knight moves in. It's not really attacking anything, and after this, I defend. I defend over here because I want to I want to further develop and get the bishop off this first rank, so my rooks and queen can become more powerful. So we exchange off the pieces, and I would say this is the last point that black is sort of hanging in there. Black could have considered a queenside castle, and I think the decision to go kingside shortly after was pretty bad. So here, doesn't look like black is castling anytime soon. And here, knight threatening either the queen or the bishop. I want one of those pieces off the board, so we take the bishop. And then black castles queenside, actually, because the whole kingside had been opened up. I might have misspoke before about the kingside castle. So now it leaves room to harass the queen a little bit. Moves out of the way. I centralize my rooks. And now we're pinning the knight in front of the queen. I would say at this point, black is clearly worse, and black's only defense here, besides losing the knight for free, would have been to put the rook on d5 and just lose the exchange rather than just the whole free piece. So takes and attacks the queen. Queen moves up. Then I further cement that black can't really leave this. Black's kind of I built the jail cell around black's center, unless black's willing to trade pieces and be down the exchange. So here, since my opponent didn't move his queen, I just exchange them off. And it leaves this discovered check in front of black's king. So we snatch a pawn, black is on the run, we push the center pawn with the idea that if takes, rook takes, and then we exchange a rook. Black saw that and just continues to run. We push the pawn and really lock up. It's a beautiful pawn chain of 5 pawns. Just digging its heels into black's space. So bishop takes, so we're basically emptying out the only defense black has. Check, moves over. It's really over at this point, but I admire that black tried to play on. Black, I guess out of desperation, wants to remove some of the attack. So it goes down further in the exchange. Check. I think here, another mistake on Black's part. Black, I think, should have just kept running, but Black stayed close enough to be in the action. So here, we're one move basically from, rook down here and promoting. So Black basically brings his king into the action to assist. Now this move, again, another move out of frustration. It's going to lead to an immediate promotion. Pawn takes, bishop, queen, check. However, I didn't know that it would actually lead to checkmate. So it's a very pretty mate in the center of the board, and quite a game, quite a game. The other game I played against this same individual had a very similar result, so we'll go through that one. It's a very good game on my part. This is a Benoni defense that I follow once in a while. Doesn't always work well, but sometimes it's good for blitz. It gets your opponents thinking. Takes. So in this game, my opponent really blundered. This move is a losing move because it leads to a pin on this diagonal, which become evident shortly. Especially since the only defending piece is, is in the middle of the board. So I don't even bother taking the free piece. I just pin the queen. So that turns into a freebie. And it leads to a succession of exchanges. Black wins some material, but not nearly enough. So snatch the rook. Black does likewise, but being down the queen, exchanging off pieces isn't really in White's interest in this situation. So here my knight was trapped, so might as well get a pawn on the way out. And now we're just trying to regroup. Although we're up the queen, and although we're way ahead in development, we don't want to give White too much time to catch up in development. So White also now has a pretty good control of the center. So we have a lot of pieces eyeing the d5 square. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. To further develop, I move the knight out. It gets attacked immediately, so got to move it back. Here we just immediately go for the center. The idea also that there's a X-ray into the king. Takes, and then because the bishop can't take back, that's a freebie. So my opponent makes this knight move, which is pretty good because it defends the pinned bishop, but it's really an illusion, and the piece ends up falling. So now we're winning, but we've got to close the deal and avoid any pin nonsense, let's say on the C file, to pin the queen. That would probably be the only way to lose this game. Check. So I'm trying to drive White's king to a square that he can't defend his pieces. So he counterattacks there. I move the rook over, but you see I'm trying to control on the 2 file here on the across to the king. I'm trying to X-ray this knight and overload that knight. So here, even though I'd be walking into a sort of pin here, I think it's worth it to bring the queen into the action. So now here the idea is if White does anything other than move this knight, I'm going to take it you know, and sacrifice the rook for the two pieces. And white allows me to do that, but then runs away to a bad square and we just take. So here I want to pin the rook just to, you know, again, win material or exchange material into an advantage. I guess out of frustration, white missed that, so it was just checkmate. Um, so these were two games against this unfortunate gentleman from Armenia, if it is a gentleman. Two really good games on my part. I thought were well done. So there you have it.